Ladies and gentlemen, may I have your attention, please? The show starts in 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the XFL show. I am your host. Dirty Arlington said he was going to kick me off the show, but that didn't work. Arlington is the one who got kicked off the show, so I decided I was going to bring this guy in. I don't know how, but you people seem to be loving this dude. The one, the only, Daddy Ed. How are you, sir?
I'm doing good.
Yeah, are you ready? Are you ready? Now you're talking XFL, Ed, right?
Yeah, this is XFL.
You're talking XFL. I know you got some complaints. So I'm looking up the clip that you wanted me to find, but at the 14-minute mark,
14:23.
it's a commercial.
No. All you got to do is find the second play of the game.
The second play of the game. Okay, I'm thinking at the 14-minute mark of the game. See how dumb I am, Ed?
Yep. Well, the Battlehawks got to receive the opening kickoff. It's the second play on offense.
All right, so that's where I'm getting ready to go to right now. So 14:23, and let's talk about it, Ed. Do you want to set this clip up that we're going to talk about?
Yeah, before you show it, just a little background. Amanda and I we made the trek to Washington, D.C. for that game.
Yep. Absolutely
wonderful experience. Got to say, as far as the game itself, it was pretty chippy. And I think all the fans there that day would agree that it remained chippy the whole game. Problem is that the referees had a chance to get that game under control from the get-go, and then they left the flag in their pockets. So I went through the game. I counted a good 8 plays at least in the game that they could have had a unsportsmanlike conduct flag thrown, and they did not. So, as they hand out these suspensions and fines and everything like that, they need to be accountable for what they contributed that day.
All right, so here it is. Here's the play you're wanting to talk about, Ed. Okay?
Okay.
So there you go. You see the play.
Running back. 2nd and 8. They give it back to
him.
He
stopped.
He's going nowhere.
Keep going. Keep going.
You said stop.
First,
no.
3.
So after momentum was stopped.
Luke's.
Correct.
After the momentum was stopped and the whistle was blown, that play continued for at least another 10 yards towards the sideline, where there was even players that weren't involved in the original tackle that come up and tried to rip the ball out of his hand. And he basically ends up getting thrown down, to which he stands up and pushes the other guy.
Right.
Okay, so there's a second play of the game where the referees could have established the boundary and said, no, this isn't the way this game is going to go. But they allowed it to continue. Now, this isn't a matter of being a Battlehawk homer or being a DC Defender homer. This is the XFL that's promoting safety. They want to talk all the time about promoting safety. Well,
correct, which you're seeing in other games, Ed, that there are certain plays it looks like they're not really going for the safety. So I agree with you. You want to talk about the safety, but yet you're letting stuff like that happen. I agree.
Do you have the play in the third quarter
Okay,
that I was talking about?
So let me get to the third quarter in the game.
This time the DC defenders have the ball.
Okay.
And it's
7:47. Hold on.
and before you play it, I want to tell people what to look for. You got Abram Smith, running back for the DC defenders, that gets a handoff straight up the middle. You have the first Battlehawk player with a questionable helmet to helmet, but the second hit that you will see is a leave no doubt. That was an intentional using the helmet as a weapon. And you'll see the lineman get up after the play's over, looking at the referee with his arms up in the air, going like, "What are you doing, man?"
Well, I have to show this, Ed. Now, you tell me as we're going, I have to show this because I think it's great that we get to see it again. But this is just a still picture of the beer snake all the way at the top of 137.
Well, you ain't a kidding. If I'd have been in that end zone that day, I probably would have put a few inches on there myself.
So what was it like to see that? What was it like to see that? I mean, and it made it all the way to the top, Ed.
When they talk about the XFL being an experience, it's not just an experience for the players. It's an experience for the fans. And I got to tell you, Amanda and I sat in the opposite end zone from the beer snake up in the corner. There's several things going on in there. I mean, you got passionate fans. There's no doubt. That place was rocking.
Okay. Now, here's the play. Here's the play you're talking about.
Now watch. The initial hit on Abram makes him vulnerable. Watch the second hit.
Okay, you tell me when to play.
Go ahead and play it.
You guys are the best. 2nd and 5, back to the ground with Smith.
Oh, yeah, I see
Smith
that.
Pushes the pile enough for a first down.
Look at that. Okay? So that doesn't even draw a flag. Okay?
No, it not.
And you've got the second hit. You got a hit like that. That could have ruined Abram Smith's career and the guy that laid the hit on him.
Well, and it could have gave him a concussion and all that stuff.
With a hit like that, concussion's probably the best. I mean, I'm surprised he stayed in the game and kept going because that was a vicious hit in my mind.
Now, and again, that just wasn't that game. You also had another hit in, I want to say it was the Renegades in Orlando game that we had this weekend, where they took a late hit on Kyle Sluter on the as he was going out of bounds. So I mean, we're starting to see a lot of these late hits, and you're really not seeing the flags come out. But here's what I'll say about Dean Blandino: if he's seeing something questionable, he will challenge it and say, "Hey, listen, we got to relook at this play. I think it was a penalty," or something like that.
When you watch that, is there a doubt in your mind that there should have been a penalty flag thrown?
Oh, 100%. I think so. I 100%.
So here's the deal. Like I said, there's at least 8 instances throughout the game, and we're not going to go through the whole list because it's not necessary. But when you talk about the chippiness going on in that game, as early as the second play of the game, the refs had a chance to get that game under control, and they did not. Okay? So you're a parent, I'm a parent. It's no different with kids. Kids are going to test the boundaries. What can I get away with?
Here, Woody says it perfectly. Helmet to helmet is dangerous for both players. If the refs don't see it, then Dean should call it. And I agree with that. I mean, I think that's what makes the XFL so different from the NFL is that they have Dean Blandino up there in that little Sky Command Center. He sees something that he doesn't like, he calls it. You know what I'm saying?
Yep. And so, it's no different than your kids, raising your kids. They're always going to test the boundary. What can I get? What can I get away with? That whole game, both sides, it was chippiness the whole game. They never threw one unsportsmanlike conduct. What do they think is going to happen by the end of the game? If you're going to penalize players, I mean, take the 2-game suspension. 2-game suspension in a 10-game regular season.
That's a lot.
That's a fifth of the season. So you take JJ for the Battlehawks now. He's out for 2 games, right? He's out for it's not bad enough they had started the season with 3 road games. Now
Yeah,
he misses out on the 2 home games, so he doesn't even get to play in front of his home crowd till week 8. Now
exactly.
now now they can't I know they can't take that into consideration, but
Hmm.
what they can take into consideration is if you're not gonna have your referees enforce the safety of the XFL, and you're going to allow shenanigans like, that blatant hit to Abram Smith, that
Hmm.
should have been automatic ejection.
Yeah. Now
Automatic.
let's ask this. As we've seen as the weeks have been going on, weeks from week 1 to week 4, would you agree that the football has gotten better,
Oh, the football is
gotten more competitive, and just much better gameplay? Just the
oh,
refereeing needs to tighten the screws. Would you
I
agree with that?
I tell you what, after what I've seen so far in the XFL this year, I would watch the XFL over the NFL any day of the week. You talk about, for the love of the game, you
Hmm.
can tell watching these players from top to bottom. They're all playing with passion.
Yes.
They're all trying to get to that next level. I'll take that any day over a player making 50 million that could care less whether he talks to a fan or not.
Yeah, and see, and that's why me and Arlington started this show. And as you see here, Arlington says, "Thank you, Daddy Ed, for coming on the show today." Arlington's having some back issues. He's going to the chiropractor to get his back straightened out. That's why me and Arlington started this show, was for the passion of it. We knew, we started it for the passion, for the fans here in St. Louis, and now it's kind of engraved. I mean, you see you see the new studio. I mean, look, you got all the hats. I got the Viper flag here, the Renegades, the Sea Dragon flag. I got the Brahmas flag there, the Battle Hawk thing there, the Brahmas flag. Where at down here on the bottom. I mean, you see the different hats. This has grown into something more, and it's about the passionate fans, where we let the fans come on and voice their concerns. Now, Ed, so here, like Andrew says here, I get they're trying to let the players play out there, and I do enjoy that. But safety calls need to be enforced. I mean, are you thinking that I mean, would you agree with that? Because I would, 100%.
Absolutely. Nobody wants to see anybody get hurt. And, being a Battlehawks fan like I am, I'm sitting at the game and you see that hit and you're like, oh man, you
But so
know,
now let's ask this, Ed. So look, like Ronnie says right here, Dirty, I might agree with this. They are creating major rivalries with that fight. So now let me ask you this. I mean, I'm not saying this is what's happening. We know that The Rock was in the WWE, right? Love storylines, right? We had Jordan on Tuesday on this show, and we talked about him. Now think about it, Ed. You're coming back in 2 weeks. The DC Defenders are coming back in 2 weeks to St. Louis, right?
it's,
The former golden boy of St. Louis, the throwing Samoan Jordan Ta'amu, is returning in his white and red uniform to play his old team in the Battle Dome, where he's never lost. I mean, do you think they kind of let that fight go a little bit in the chirpiness to build that rivalry, or do you just think it was just the players did it themselves? Me, I'm going to lean
okay,
more towards The Rock is about that writing storylines. That's just me.
that's, and just for the record, that game will be a sellout. I guarantee it. You
Oh,
heard it
I
here
I,
first. But
I agree with you.
so here's the deal. But if that's what you're trying to accomplish,
See, like right
why
here, great storyline.
why are you penalizing the players?
That's true.
If
You got a
if
point.
that's what you want, and that's the kind of game that the refs called, and
Hmm.
now, it boiled over at the end. Hate to see it. Totally understand when they say they got to nip it in the butt. They
Hmm.
can't let this stuff happen. But come on now, you can't let chippiness go and go and go. I mean, they're grown men. They're grown men, but they've also got a lot of pride and there's a lot on the line. And then when you want to promote team, if there's a player that needs the assistance from his team, he's
Hmm.
going to get it. And as long as you haven't called it the whole game, now at the very end, just because you want to set an example for the rest of the league, for the rest of the year, you're going to pull a couple players and you're going to penalize them 2 games out of a 10-game regular season. Take a little bit of accountability for yourself and say, okay, we contributed to this, and at least maybe revisit this and bring down the penalties a little bit. I just think it's way too excessive. Don't use these guys to make your example. You want to make your example, throw the damn flag.
I agree with you. I totally agree with you. I think the officiating, like I said earlier, I think the officiating needs to tighten their screws just a tad bit more. But, I mean, you never know. It's the XFL. Maybe we might see something different where they do tighten the screws. But, I mean, let's really hope that they do. You know what I'm saying? Let's hope that they tighten up the screws. You know what I mean? Um, so, yeah, that's all I'm going to say about that, Hey, this is the X Fan Show. I am your host. I was supposed to be kicked off, but I kicked Arlington off because of his bad back, the big baby. He's like, oh, my back hurts. My back hurts. So he might be lucky if he comes back on Tuesday. Joining me is the man who has become an instant legend from B-Hawk Live with his great daughter, Amanda, who hosts with me on Wednesday nights, Daddy Ed. Now, Daddy Ed, home opener. We're getting right here. Everything is coming. Now remind you guys, our videos that we showed were courtesy of ESPN. Thanks to my ESPN Plus app that I pay for. So you can't really kick me off. So there you go. But anyways, the passion that we've seen in this XFL so far. Do you think? I mean, and we've talked about it before. Me and Arlington have. Is it living up to the hype? Is it, or do you think it's still falling a little bit short?
I tell you what, Amanda and I made the drive to DC to go to that game.
Mm-hmm.
It was an awesome experience. I start getting texts towards the end of the game. Are you going to be okay? Are you going to be okay? It looks like things are getting out of control. What are you safe? Blah, blah. I can honestly tell you that the fans at that ball game, yeah, they had a lot of passion, but they were awesome. I had more conversations with the people sitting there, with the fans sitting around me about the game. And what was nice about it was at the end of the game, I'm like, I think we may have a rivalry here. And I'm talking to them as DC Defender fans, and I'm saying, but just remember, in 2 weeks, you come to the Dome. And I'm telling you, if this has all the makings of being an awesome rivalry between.
I mean, it could be to determine who goes to the championship in the North. Unless, Seattle or Vegas turns it around, it could be the Battlehawks versus DC to battle for the North to see who plays in the championship on May 13th in San Antonio.
Battlehawks will have to win the game against DC in 2 weeks, next week, if they want any chance of having a home field for the playoffs.
All right, I agree with you. All right, as you see scrolling on the bottom is week 4, and we're going to talk about week 4. As you see that all the home teams are in cap. So, Ed, we have something big here. We have possibly the best team with the Houston Roughnecks going against possibly the worst team and having a new quarterback coming in, Quentin Flowers. Houston might have the best quarterback, in my opinion, right now. You love him or hate him. You could say he is distant or a prima donna, which he seems to be a prima donna in Brandon Silvers, right? Because he's got a team that is 3-0. A lot of people were thinking they were going to be terrible at the bottom with Orlando, but yet they just keep rolling on in this game, and they just keep rolling. I mean, what are your takes on that? How do you think that game's going to go?
Well, I tell you what, Kirkland and Borghi, they probably make possibly one of the best tandems in addition to him.
Yeah.
But the problem is, not a problem. Houston's had 3 home games. They haven't been on the road yet. So,
that's true.
So as we talk about Houston, I would agree with everybody else. Houston's probably the number 1 team in the league right now. But they're about to have a little bit adversity going on the road. Now, chances are the Guardians, even though they played better last week, I can't see it. But I think Houston's got some tougher games ahead of them.
Well, okay, so do you really want to talk about that? So I can pull that up for us, right?
Yep.
I can pull that up for us so we can talk about it, because I kind of agree with you. I'm saying I've talked to people outside of the show privately and all that stuff, right? And I've had people say that they're probably going to go 6-4, and I'm like, I don't see that. I just don't see it. Them going 6-4, right? I'm seeing them going 8-2. Okay, and so let's scroll up. So here we're at week 4, and you see they're going to Orlando. I don't think they should have a problem in Orlando. Wade Phillips, they already beat Orlando and beat him convincingly. That's the whole controversy with Wade Phillips going, well, he's an idiot. He's not a head coach. Some of the play calls that Terrell Buckley has been, right? Your beer is great. It is sitting right here in the back of my studio. There's one of the beers, the San Antonio Brahma's beer, which is actually really a good beer. I have a couple more I might take with me to the game, but I don't want to really waste them. You know what I mean, Ed?
Have those come out anywhere yet?
Just in San Antonio, bro. Just in San Antonio. If you want to get some, Ed, I know somebody coming to town. Maybe I'll see if he can pick us up a couple.
There you go.
Okay, I'll see that. So, yeah, I mean, I just see him rolling over it. Now, the game that really intrigues me the most is this second. No, we're talking about Houston, right? Let's keep going with Houston. So I see Houston winning that one. Week 5, they go into Seattle, okay? I was at Lumen Field, okay? I could see this being a toss-up game, okay? It's really going to depend on what DiNucci does, but I would say this could possibly be their first loss in Seattle. Just my opinion.
Well, I can see that.
Okay.
As long as DiNucci don't self-destruct.
Exactly. Now,
I mean, they'd be 3-0 if it wasn't for him.
Exactly. So now we go to week 6, right? For the Roughnecks, and they play the Defenders in DC in Audi Field. Now, you were there. You were in Audi Field, right?
Get your popcorn ready for that one.
You saw it firsthand, right? I mean, these two teams here could either be undefeated or both with 1 losses going into week 6. What I saw with DC and the way that they played and the way they could run that ball, I could see this possibly being another loss for Houston.
Oh, I could easily see that being a loss.
So right there, you got Houston at 4-2, okay? Or no, is that 4-2? And then you go week 7, they play us in Houston. I mean, look, McCarron put a decent game together, right? I don't think the Battlehawks have played a really complete game on both sides of the fence. Defensively, they've been playing great. I mean, they're at the top on tackles and sacks and everything. Houston has 4 players with 5 or more sacks, okay? I don't see them beating St. Louis. I see Houston, as much as I hate to say it, Houston beats St. Louis. That would put him at 5-2. So now we go into week. I mean, do you agree or disagree with me on that on Houston and the Battlehawk game in Houston?
Probably yes, but number one, injuries can be a great equalizer.
That is true.
So we never know. But number 2, what's exciting about the Battlehawks is they're 2-1 and they haven't even come close to playing their best football yet.
And again, that is true also.
Well, if they ever put it together, look out.
Right now, this is the other game that intrigues me for Houston in week 8, going to San Antonio. Now, me and Amanda were in San Antonio. That's a crazy crowd. She said it was. She goes. She had a better fan experience in San Antonio with everybody, but she goes, but it was just as rowdy in DC than it was in San Antonio, right?
Yeah. Well,
that's another toss-up for me.
I understand what you're saying, but I know Amanda, and the reason why it was a better experience is because they had tailgating.
That is true, right? Yeah.
But as far as the actual fan experience, you're probably right. It's pretty close.
So again, it's a 50-50 all with me, but I'm going to lean just a little more towards Houston by what I've seen so far in these first 3 weeks of the season. So again, Houston would beat San Antonio. That would put them right there at 7-2. And then where do they go? Again, they play the Vipers. Again, I'm not really seeing a lot out of the Vipers. They're going to go 6-2 right there by beating the Vipers. I mean, are you disagreeing with anything that I'm saying so far?
Because by then the Vipers are probably going to be pretty much out of it. So
Right. And then
what
their
are you
last
going to get?
game, against the Renegades, and the Renegades is just like the Battlehawks in 2020, where I said the Battlehawks in 2020 were going to go 5-5, right? Renegades, I think, are going to go 5-5, and I see Houston running through this. So I mean, I could literally see Houston going 8-2 by this schedule. Now, barring no injuries or anything like that.
If the Renegades don't come up with an offense here before long, it takes time to gel. I get it, but the Renegades just aren't scoring enough points.
Right, and Viva Texas. Listen, Jorge, I agree with you. Houston will have a tough time playing with the nose in the Alamo Dome. I completely 100% agree with you. That's why I said I could see that game being a toss-up. But by what I've seen so far up for these 3 weeks, on how the teams have been coached, how the teams have been playing, I'm likely going to give it to Houston, that win. But we'll see. It's like Ed said, injuries can completely change a team. Completely change a team. I mean, am I right, Ed?
Yep.
Yeah. So now, we're both on agreement with Houston just beating Orlando, right?
The other thing we're not taking into account either is they haven't played any road games. So
that's true, and this is going to be their first road game.
What happens when they start having some adversity, and now Silvers has got to bring the team together. See how good he is then.
Don't get me wrong. I like the Brahmas. Look, I mean, I got a Brahmas flag. I got my Brahmas towel here. I enjoyed everything that there was about San Antonio. I've publicly said on this show that the Brahmas have possibly my favorite logo of all the XFL logos. I have said that. I mean, have I not, Ed? That the Brahmas have I think it's my favorite logo. I love their color scheme. Call them Buffalo Wild Wings all you want. I love that color scheme. I think it looks great. I love the way that the horns come across the helmet, the B on the helmet. I can't complain about the Brahmas. I like the team.
The Brahmas got a huge game this week.
Yeah, exactly. Now, they're playing this team right here. The Sea Dragons.
And and the loser goes to 1-3.
Losers go to 1-3.
That's digging a pretty big hole in a 10-game regular season.
Oh, look at this. He's the Viva Texas says that he's getting a Brahmas tattoo. That's dedication. I got a Battlehawks tattoo that I lost on a bet. So, yeah, I got it. So, hey, best of luck to you. And he goes, I did see that he has a bet with the mayor on that. So let me go to that, right?
Okay.
So you know who Viva Texas is, right?
Yep.
You've talked to the mayor on Facebook, right?
Yep.
And stuff like that. So let me go to this. I love this because here's what I love about the San Antonio fan base, okay? Viva Texas puts out some great videos, okay? She says, Ann says that the Brahmas got hosed on calls last week. And right. And again, like Ed said, there was a lot of misplaced calls on all the officiating last week. Hands down. They really need to tighten those screws on the officiating. And Ed, while I'm looking it up, why don't you elaborate a little more on that about the officiating of all the games?
Again, I get what they're trying to do. They're trying to promote excitement for the game. In a lot of ways, I think that the XFL is drumming up excitement just by the league. And, talking to the mayor made an excellent point on one of your earlier shows. The XFL is blue-collar football.
Mm-hmm.
If you want to spend $400 or $500 a ticket, go see an NFL game. If you want to see good football and pure love of the game, go to the XFL, and he couldn't have nailed it more. And I've kind of tried to take that, and I've talked to several of friends that I have trying to get them at a game this weekend because I think all it's going to take is that home opener in St. Louis to hook a lot of people.
Right. Okay. So I can't find the video, which I wish I could. So, Viva Texas, he puts out a lot of videos, right? About stuff. Okay. Yeah. See, again, the officiating was horrible. You're right. AJ did. And I kind of agree. You say what you want about the officials. I don't think that was the sole legit reason why the Battlehawks lost. But it was more terrible play calling, if you ask me, is why they kind of lost on some of those games in that
Yeah,
game.
I understand. I got other reasons why I think he probably had the press conference and said that.
Mm-hmm.
But being at the game, I have more of a problem with the offensive coordinator than I do. But no, you know what they say. AJ can talk about all the calls he didn't get, but I'm sure Tamu could say the same
I
thing.
mean, yeah, Reggie Barlow said it the same.
I mean,
The mayor, look right here. The mayor said, "I had his office open in Houston in week 3. The rulings were fair, and the mayor saw no need to overrule Mr. Blandino via Viva Texas. Quit whining." Oh, so the mayor in Viva Texas, he had put. I was trying to find the video because I wanted to play it. Right, he's talking about how the Brahmas are going to go into Seattle and win, and he told the mayor. I tagged the mayor in it. And the mayor, he said, "Mayor, you're going to take your orange flag and you're going to need a white towel." So they made a bet, right? So the bet was made that if the Brahmas beat the Brahmas beat the Sea Dragons, the mayor will go into San Antonio and do a video with his white flag. And I can't remember what Viva, you got to tell me what your bet was with that. But oh man, is she really gonna invade us, Ed? Is she really gonna invade us?
is this the same situation where he was supposed to wear? Is this the same guy that was supposed to be wearing Battlehawk wings after week 1?
You're right, and if she can keep her phone straight, I'll bring her on. Oh, she's gone. Okay, never mind. The lovely hyena Amanda. Look, let's talk about this game. As you see, now this is a 9:00 Eastern time on a Saturday, okay? Which that's not so bad. I'll stay up for that game. You know what I mean?
Well, if you got to promote the XFL on the West Coast.
Mm-hmm.
And if you want butts in the stands, you gotta put the times that makes it the best time available for Seattle to put butts in the seats.
Well,
you can't have a game during rush hour traffic and expect to fill the house.
It's funny that you say that, Daddy Ed, because a lot of people in the Seattle pages are complaining that the games are getting changed around. And actually, Kevin, that's exactly what we're getting ready to talk about because Ed just brought it up. Says not to change the subject, and I apologize if it was talked about. But did you guys see the article that someone put out about the XFL changing TV networks because the ratings were so bad? Just curious on your thoughts. I think it's because they're good ratings. Okay, so here's what I'm going to say. I don't think the ratings have been as terrible as everybody thinks they have. I mean, you've been drawing over 500,000 for every single game. That's exactly where. Oh, here he goes. I'll get to his bet in a minute. In my opinion, where the ratings are for the XFL, I think that's exactly where they want them, right? But now you have teams really starting to make momentum, and Seattle is the only West Coast team. So, like you said, Ed, why not change it to it fits the West Coast lifestyle for those people, to where they could put more people in the seats?
Promote the game.
Right? Exactly. So I'm not mad about that they changed it.
You can make a game a 7:00 game on the East Coast so that the fans on the East Coast can watch the game, but are they really vested in it? Are they ever going to buy the tickets in Seattle? You got to make the game available in Seattle to the fan base that can buy in and start selling tickets. You can't do that if you put the game on rush hour traffic.
I agree. All right, let's bring her in. Here she is, the cackling hyena, Amanda.
Why do you have to call me that?
Well, I mean, that's kind of what your name is. That's kind of what your nickname is.
Oh my lord.
You want me to reach through and choke the life out of him?
Yeah.
Well, I think you could just walk through that door, Ed, and choke her out.
Yeah, my studio looks a little familiar.
She's actually tucked right behind the curtain. If I could figure out how to point to it. Yeah, she's
See,
right
look.
behind the curtain.
See, Amanda, look. You pop on, and everybody starts, "Good morning, Amanda." See?
Hi, Keelan.
See, now the mayor's like, F the Thursday night games. I kind of agree with the mayor on that one. I don't think the XFL is ready for the third. Now Keelan says hi to me and Ed. He's been on here watching for 35 minutes and doesn't say hi to us. It's okay. Here, Keelan, I'll put your hi, buddy. Yeah, it's okay. Amanda comes on, you say hi to her first, but not me and Daddy Ed. It's cool, Keelan. I still.
Oh, get over it. Move on.
Anyways. Amanda, what? Oh, look, here we go. Everybody's chiming in now. Good morning, Amanda.
Hi, Brian.
God, Amanda, what's your thoughts on this? The game changing, the time schedule changing, and stuff like that. Do you think it's good for the XFL, or do you think it hurts the XFL?
I think it's ironic, if I can say that first.
I think we might have made a speculation somewhere.
You might have made a speculation somewhere in the show if you watched.
I think it was Tuesday.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Tuesday, I think.
I mean, coming from a mother who has a child, right? Having games too late, not okay. If you want to represent and have this as a family league too and involve families with children, why would you do that?
But okay, are we talking a school night or are we talking on a Saturday night?
School night.
Okay, so this weekend is on a Saturday night. Now, you are right, because later in the week they did change the schedule to where it's a Thursday night game, and it is a late game for the East Coast.
Not okay. Right. Saturday, don't care. You know what I mean? Like Saturday is definitely.
Fine. The mayor says, Amanda has taken over my office in St. Louis this Sunday. She is some kind of wedge. So apparently the mayor is dubbing you the deputy mayor of St. Louis. I'm assuming it's what it seems like.
I'll take it, please. At least somebody gives me some form of title, and I am a somebody.
Well, here, Ed, Woody gave you a title, Hi Hyena. And then Kevin's got a question for you. I have a question. Amanda, did you stay and watch the entire game this weekend? LOL.
Unfortunately.
Well,
let me tell you, that's not the reason why we lost. Let me tell you the reason why we lost is because we were great until halftime. And then after halftime, it was like literally hell in a handbasket. I don't even know what happened.
I only want her to leave when her kicker's coming out to kick a field goal. Other than that, she's welcome to stay.
All right, so here, Ronnie Brown says, "Come on, Dirty. The Battlehawks are royalty. Say it, man." Look, I am 100% honest on this show with you guys, okay? I am a Battlehawk fan, okay?
You're ASS. I didn't say the word because this is daytime, but let me say something to you. You are full of malarkey.
Hold on.
No. This hyena is going to say something right now. And you are the biggest. No. Oh, yeah. Go ahead and pull them all out now. I don't think so. Yeah, just because you rearranged all that today does not make you any better than anybody else. No. Go ahead. Just so everybody knows, this is my speculation. He rearranged everything in that office today to make it seem like he is a Battlehawk fan, even though he's going to wear a DC hat to the DC game when they come here. But anyway, what I'm saying is no, you're not.
Okay, now let me get this straight. Okay,
this girl is.
Okay, let me explain to you. Okay, let me put the comment back up. Where'd it go? Where'd it go? Ronnie's going, there you go, Amanda. I mean, I don't understand why these people like you, Amanda. It's ridiculous. I mean, Ed, can you agree with me? Why do they like her, Ed? Why do they like her, Daddy Ed?
Well,
watch what you say.
I've never been accused. Where in the heck did that come from? I've never been accused of being a good-looking, handsome man. I'll give you that. But I didn't
does
do
that happen?
I didn't do too bad a job there, did I?
I
What
The heck
almost,
this Albert?
I literally almost spit my hot water
I
all over
think
my
she
computer.
I think she turned out pretty good. So all I can say is my wife must really be hot. 'Cause somehow
I
or
mean,
another, I had a part on that, and I think she turned out pretty good.
I have a beautiful mother and an ugly pig.
Oh, look, right here it goes. Look, I'm an Amanda fan, but I also love to hate her. So there you go. See?
Listen here, Viva.
That's because she
Just
took
because
his
you didn't get your
Windex.
Windex endorsement,
Yeah,
don't
that's
come at
because
me.
that's
All
because
right,
she
now
took his Windex.
let's go back to this, okay?
Mhm.
About this, me saying that the Battlehawks are, what's that word I'm looking for, Amanda, that started with an R? I'm not going to say it. What's that word?
I'm not going to say your word for you because I'm not even going to go there. with
Ed,
you.
what is that word I'm supposed to say right here? Read this.
Right.
Read this word right here.
Starts with an R. Is that
Yeah.
right?
No, you're not going to say that word.
Righteous
not,
or
'cause
royalty?
Here's why I'm not going to say it. I've been to six XFL games, right? And I'm going to explain to you, and you guys can vouch for me too because you guys were in DC, okay? Every other fan base thinks that the St. Louis fan base is a joke. They make fun of us, they laugh at us, and they think that we are stupid for the dumb things that we come up with.
That's so lame because I tell you what, I had the best time in DC.
I did too.
Loved the fans. Loved talking to the fans.
Yeah, but if you
They're
ask them, they're like, the stuff you guys come up with, how you bully all the other fan bases when you guys
Don't
are the
hate
largest
us 'cause
one.
you ain't us.
But-
Sorry,
but-
don't hate us because you ain't us.
We should
Sorry.
be promoting. We should be promoting the league, helping the other fan bases, not ragging on them. Like here, I'll give an example right here. Viva Texas, what they're doing down there. He's doing a great job throwing the little subtle jabs at all the other teams. I think it's a great thing.
When we sell out the dome next week against DC, when DC comes back, do you think that's all the Battlehawks? The reason why that dome's being filled up?
No,
They're also coming because the DC Defenders are a damn good team.
Right.
So
and
how would
did you see the billboard with AJ on it saying
Mhm.
that we're coming in defense, blah blah blah? Like,
so I mean, so I don't
Mhm.
I don't know where they're getting all this from, but they've only been getting respect from us. You guys talked big time, talked up San Antonio. Washington D.C. Amanda and I haven't had one bad thing to say about D.C. I thought it was awesome. I go
Yeah,
back.
I
in a
had
heartbeat.
nothing bad to say about
Next time
Vegas.
I'm sitting in the beer snake end zone though.
but let
I
me
didn't
tell
have-
you something.
Okay.
When y'all come to St. Louis and we beat you, because I know it's gonna happen, I'll be sure to sing the song na 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 na. Hey, hey,
I
hey,
couldn't say
goodbye.
I couldn't
'Cause y'all were
say
singing
nothing.
it to us, so it's coming back at you.
Okay,
I
so
just
remember that.
Let's get to it. Like, okay, so I'm glad, Amanda, you talked about the billboard where it's got AJ's picture right there at the dome. It says, "We are coming in defense," right?
Yep.
Well, do they not realize that we have a game in between DC called the Renegades? Even though we're going to be playing in front of a sold out crowd, right? Do they not realize? Do the Battlehawks not realize that we have a team coming into town with with an offensive coordinator and a defensive coordinator who used to be our
Who
head
runs
coach?
the ball constantly and got nowhere.
I'm just saying. So, is it that the Battlehawks are overlooking the Arlington Renegades in looking on to Week 5? In my opinion,
No.
yes, they are.
They
Jimmy,
better not. They better not, because if they lose this week, next week don't mean near as much as what it.
Thank you. You really don't think with that billboard and that billboard material, you've heard of billboard material, right, Amanda? I mean, that's what made Kirk Cousins what he got.
Oh, don't bring his name.
I'm
into
just
this.
saying.
No, you know how it is to get help. You want a billboard, you got to get it up when you can. The timing has nothing to do with it, because they probably got like 2 guys doing billboards now, and they got 25 billboards to put up. So whenever it's up, it's up. I mean,
Keelan says the other billboard, new kicker for hire.
perfect. If you remember the Tuesday show, Dirty makes a comment that Oh, don't give up on our kicker. He's going to be.
I-
He said by the end of the season he's going to be the most improved. Well,
I
when you're
did-
only 3 for 7, I guess you will
did
be the most improved.
Not say he was going to be the most improved.
Yes, you
did not. Did not.
Rerun the tape.
Did not. Yes, and he does.
Where's
and
Dean
yes,
Blandino?
He
Dean?
sucks.
Where's Dean?
Rerun the
We
tape.
need Dean in this one.
Rerun the tape.
Where's
Viva
Dean?
Texas
I
says,
need Dean Blandino.
Excalibur had put out a video saying that anyone that comes into the Battle Dome will be destroyed. I guess that's why San Antonio wasn't invited to play there. See, that's what I'm talking about with the rivalry. That's a funny little jab, right? That's a funny little jab. Not this, Viper fans stand up to poop. We never even
Here's
played
the
the
deal.
Vipers.
All I can say
Kirkland
about
is my dude right now. Kirkland and Badette. Don't count Badette out because that dude had a great game this last week.
Here it is. There is Excalibur. Amen. So what we need to do is we need to get Excalibur and Viva Texas to do little shots back and forth at each other each week.
No, we don't. You know why?
Why?
I get the Excalibur or whatever you want to call him, turd or whatever. He needs a different head. Okay, you can't be manly from the shoulders down and look like you're a bad dude and then have the little beaker head on.
Well, he's on here, so tell him, Matt. Tell him we need to get him a new head.
You got to get a new head, dude. Come on. I have a picture from 2020 that I took with you. Didn't realize you were the mascot at the time. I just thought it was cool in 2020 to have a picture taken with you. But now that I see you on Facebook and stuff and I see that outfit, quality outfit, you got to get a new head. You got to have a new.
All right, we're going to work on getting Excalibur a new helmet then, right?
Yeah.
Well, here's the one thing I'm kind of sick of. I mean, Excalibur was there, right? He's been the guy that's been there from day one, right? For the Battlehawks, right? I give him all the credit in the world. What I'm tired of now is all these other guys kind of trying to start a copy off him. I think it's great. Right? But don't try to steal his look. You know what I'm saying? Come up with a different look. You know what I mean?
Well, we got, you know what the new look is?
What?
The U in the Lou. Okay? When you, yes, the U in the Lou is the new look, boy.
You get ready.
You have no idea.
Get ready to be a part of the
U
crew.
Let's get back to week 4, okay? So, my opinion, I think the Battlehawks are overlooking the Renegades. That's just my opinion. I think they're overlooking them, right? I think, it's going to be great to
I don't think the crowd's going to let them overlook.
Well, I mean, listen, it's like Amanda said. I think Amanda froze, so I'm going to do this until she comes back up. If you look at it, Ed, like she said, right? She said there's that billboard that says, we're here for our defenses, right? Who's the team they just played? The Defenders, right? In my opinion, that's kind of overlooking your opponent. So that's why I'm saying I have a feeling that they're overlooking the Renegades. And we've seen our run defense isn't the best defense, right? But I have a feeling if we overlook them, we might take an L, even though we're going to have 40,000 people in the stadium. I mean,
we haven't had a home game yet this year.
Mm-hmm.
It would I just can't fathom the fact that we would overlook a game that's our first home game.
That's right, Kevin. A bunch of big bellies spelling out cacaw. I know that's right.
The U crew, it's coming. The U crew is coming.
Amanda, with the billboard that you were talking about, AJ saying that that we're bringing our defenses, right?
Mm-hmm.
I said that they're overlooking them. Your dad says, I hope they're not. Daddy Ed says, I hope they're not overlooking the Renegades. Do you think they're overlooking at them and just focusing on the crowd and looking towards week 5 to DC?
I think Stoops is going to be scooping his own little stoop when he leaves.
All right,
that's what I think. I think Stoop is going to be scooping his own little stoop when he leaves.
So we're
I
doing
honestly have the utmost confidence in the team. You know why? Because coming off last week,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, and they watched that back. Sometimes you got to get kicked in the head, literally. You hear me? Literally, for things to happen. And after that, I don't have a doubt in my mind that they're going to come out strong. Here is my concern, though, and I will say this. My concern is with JJ not playing. The only bigger dude in that O-line is Gonzalez. I am fearful about AJ getting that ball and getting it out of his hands in time before they get through.
Right,
That part is concerning to me, other than the kicker. But besides that, we're not going to go into that. But besides that, that is my biggest concern.
Right. And as you see what the mayor says that right there, XFL social media and broadcast media relations do not, and he capitalized that, so I know he's emphasizing that on me, do not reflect the football operations. I agree. I'm just thinking. Just saying. To me, by making that billboard and putting that billboard material up there for the Renegades, Jonathan Hayes played in the Dome. He heard how loud the Dome was. He's going to, I have a feeling he's going to get this team prepared for this game. I still think the Battlehawks
How?
are
To
going
run the
win.
ball up the middle?
Hold on. Our run defense isn't that good. I still think the Battlehawks are going to win the game. So I'm still saying Battlehawks winning, but not by that much. I mean, Keelan says that the Renegades only mustered 10 points. That's because they had a new starting quarterback. Viva Texas.
Why are you? See, that's what I'm saying. You are a naysayer. Don't come at me and say you're a Battlehawk fan.
Hold on.
You're
I just said the Battlehawks are going to win. I just said the Battlehawks are going to win.
No, you didn't.
Ed, did I not just say that?
Watch what you say, old man.
Did I not just say that, Ed?
Watch what you say, old man.
Battlehawks are going to win.
Yeah, you just said that.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, like here. Viva Texas says, honestly, I don't blame you guys for overlooking the Renegades. They're in the most hated part of Texas, so feel free to overlook them. I don't overlook any team, but that's beside the point. All right, who do you guys got for that game? Renegades or the Battlehawks?
Oh, I got Battlehawks all day, people.
Yeah. So.
As long as Hageman ain't playing. I got this right here. Hageman playing, I'm like this. You see that? Oh, maybe a little hump. Maybe a little one.
Here,
otherwise, I'm pretty neutral.
Here, Don says defending the Dome is defending against all opponents, not just DC. And like Daddy said, you get the billboard when you get the billboard. Okay? I mean, look, like right here, Eric says if they open up their offense, they'll win big.
Cousin.
You're absolutely right. Andrew said, I said it last night, if we can throw the ball out, the same opening drive format of running up the middle on the first play, maybe try and throw the ball or run on the side. I agree with that. Then we have here, I mean, right here, get it to Butler. I mean.
But listen, now let me say, this is what I said last night. This is not a one-man wide receiver game. Nope. Listen to me. This is not it. You have other star players. Here's one thing that I've noticed. My dad and I were talking about this, so he can vouch. I am a huge AJ fan, but when I watch the game, he has a harder time throwing to the left than he does the right. And when he throws to the left, who's at the left? Aitman.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, okay, you got this really good wide receiver. Let's give the boy a chance. But when you're only throwing 2-yard throws, it ain't gonna work.
I swear that dude could.
That dude has so much potential.
He could jam
you gotta give him the opportunity to do it.
He could jam a basketball without even jumping, I think. I stood next to him on the field last weekend. Holy crap. That guy. So you would think that they could utilize throwing the ball high and he could just go get it. They're not taking advantage of his talent.
I love Butler. I do. I'm definitely a Butler fan, even though he's from ISU. I ain't gonna even go there right now. But anyway,
I'd like to see.
Is I still like him, but there's no reason why the Aitman is not pulling the numbers of the yardage.
I will tell you here. I'll tell you why. If you've noticed, and this isn't just AJ, this is all of the 8 XFL quarterbacks. They're not looking at their progressions. They're literally staring down one receiver. You listen to the play call, it tells you where it goes. And are you seeing them even looking through progressions? No. They hike the ball, and I don't care which quarterback this is or what. They hike the ball, and they're looking right at that quarterback. So if I get a play, slant 22, 15, 88 is Ed's number, right? I say my call, I make my hike. I'm looking, if I'm an XL quarterback, I'm looking right at Ed the whole time. I'm not looking anywhere else to make sure anybody else is open. I'm looking right at my progression, and that's it. And that's
well, the Renegades need to be watching and keeping out for Atkins because he's coming for you.
Look at the DC game.
Mm-hmm.
They throw the ball to Sutherland.
Mm-hmm.
You could have drove a freaking Mack truck down the field.
Mm-hmm.
He was so open.
Mm-hmm.
So are you telling me that that's the only time he's open the whole game?
Mm-hmm.
Exactly.
That guy should have had 5-6 catches. And he had one, and there wasn't a guy within 10 yards of him when he caught that ball.
Mm-hmm.
You got to utilize everybody, man. You can't. You start focusing on Hakeem, they take him out of the game. You got to have Plan B. You got to have Plan C. And
I really think a lot of it has to do too, though, with communication, and it's not just with the Battlehawks. I think it's with a lot of teams. I just think right now on the offensive side of it, with every team, that communication is just not there. I mean, I don't know if it's because they're rushing or what, but when I listen to them play the calls out and say the calls out, I don't know if it's because they're hearing things or they're not able to hear from, from up top or whatever, but they'll say the first part of the play, but then they're already lined up to get the hike, and then they yell the other part of the play.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, are you guys really hearing the whole play before you guys go ahead and get ready to do the play, or do you know it before you actually completely? Because I feel like I've heard the first part of a play being called, but not the second part, and then all of a sudden you see somebody running over, and it's like, because I've seen AJ a few times be like this. What is that?
Well,
do you know the play?
Well, here's the deal.
Or is he just directing? This is not directing traffic, people. This is not. You know what I mean? Nah.
They have 15.
You should know the play. This is not high school where you're like, go long. No.
Well, that's what I'm saying. That's just not AJ. So let's just not pin it to AJ.
I know it's not just AJ, but I'm going off of what
quarterback.
I've seen, and I'm just saying from a standpoint of we have to remember to, and this is with every team, that I don't think the communication has been there from a standpoint of I don't think the calls
and
of
look,
what they're wanting for the play to be done before they play it.
Right. Woody says it perfectly. Remember, the NFL has had several practice games. The XFL has had none. You're right. Absolutely. They have. We had talked about that with Jordan. That's why it's taken 3 and 4 weeks for these games to progress and getting better. Now, with that being said,
he's so sweet.
The last game that we have, the Vegas Vipers with the DC Defenders. Man, I'm going to tell you something. I mean, DC looks really good. I was there at the DC and Vipers game, right? Now, this is going to be the first 2 teams or 2 of the 4 teams to complete their division opponents. Roughnecks and Guardians, this is the second time they're playing. They won't see each other the rest of the year. And the same with the Vipers and DC. They won't see each other the rest of the year. That game, even though it was raining, okay, lots of wind, it was a very, very close game, that DC and Defenders game. Very, very close game, right? Now the Vipers have Brent Hundley as their starter. I have a feeling this game is going to be a lot closer than people think it is. And and the Vipers have the best tackling defense in the XFL because of their head coach. I could actually see this game going towards the Vipers.
I like Woodson as a coach. I really do. And in fact, when they played this last week and he went like this, I felt bad for the guy. I really did. Because Vegas has a great team.
Mm-hmm.
They really do. And I don't know what it is with them, but I just don't know. But they have the people. They have the
Well,
drive to do
they
it.
gave the
I
game
just don't
away
know.
they gave the game away in week 1 against the Renegades by throwing 2 pick sixes.
Well, that's
Yeah,
true.
in the
I mean,
second
Amanda,
half.
the second half we were there.
Mm-hmm.
And now with Hundley, I mean, I watched that game, and Hundley had a lot of fun playing in the XFL. You could hear him screaming and yelling through the broadcast. They just made that fun. They made that game fun to watch, last week. I mean, as much as I like the defenders and as much as I think that defense is good and that run game is good, they're playing a defense that is the number one defense in the league. I'm going to give it to a slight edge to the Vipers, and I'm going to say the Vipers are going to beat the defenders in Audi Field.
I have to agree. I do agree with that. I do.
As much as I hate to say it.
And I do not, because I just think it's the same thing as with us and the Renegades. That's
Okay.
a big game. That's a big,
you in that room,
there's, yes, again, there's an opportunity for them to look past the Vipers. But if they want week 5 to be as important a game as it's going to be, they got to win. They got to win this weekend.
That is right. Well,
what is wrong with you, old man?
Okay.
Oh my God.
With that being said, this is the X Fan Show. I am your host, Dirty. I booted Arlington because, he said he was going to get rid of me. Well, it seems I got rid of Arlington. Joining me today was Daddy Ed, and right below me is the cackling hyena.
Did we pick
Hawk Live, Amanda?
Did we pick the Seattle game?
I said Seattle. So I said Houston, Seattle, Battlehawks, Vipers.
What did Amanda pick for the Seattle game?
You got to go through all of them with me. I got to do my picks for the first
time. I'm
ever.
picking the Brahmas.
Oh, you're going Brahmas.
I'm going Brahmas because, like I said, the loser of that game is 1-3, and their season's in jeopardy. Say what you want about Ben DiNucci, until he quits losing games and throwing games away.
The Nooch.
I think the Brahmas come in a desperate team, and I think they're gonna take it.
Dirty, go game to game for me, and let me give you my picks since I never get to do it.
Okay. You really okay? You're taking Houston. I already tell you that one. You're gonna take.
Oh yeah, that's really already Houston. Yeah.
Exactly. Brahmas versus the Sea Dragons in Seattle.
I'm gonna have to pick Sea Dragons on that one.
There you go. I already know you're taking the Battlehawks.
Duh.
And you said you're taking the Vipers.
Yep.
So there you go. So Amanda is Houston, Seattle, Battlehawks, Vipers. Daddy Ed is Houston, Brahmas, Battlehawks, and DC.
And if I get all those, I get an interview. Come at me.
Oh, and Viva Texas says you're wrong. But hey, like John said, hey, we will see you guys this Sunday at Broadway Boat Bar, the Vest parking lot. They are doing the B-Hawk concert special. Super Jam takes the stage at 10:30. Contact Greg Jordan and Julian Jordan to get your season passes. I think that ends today. I think it does. I'm not 100% sure, but reach out to them over there at Banana Boat Bar. Big Papa G starts spinning records. I want to say it's at 9 o'clock, right, Amanda? Or is it 9:30?
9 o'clock. And Big Daddy Ed and I got a big exciting thing, so you're gonna want to come out for it. I promise you.
Don't forget, Amanda. Me and you will be there with Big Papa G on the stage for all of the tailgating fun. Come join us at 9 o'clock. Tailgating right there. If you need a tailgating spot, contact Broadway Boat Bar, Greg Jordan or Julian Jordan to get your tickets and stuff. Other than that, I haven't seen any. I don't know. So I guess we're all going to be surprised and see what the Battlehawks put in place first of all, because we haven't seen anything of what they're going to do. And then Andrew says he goes, I'll be there smashing beers and wings. That is right. Where is the Banana Boat Bar? Did I say Banana Boat Bar or did I say Broadway Boat Bar? Probably did. Broadway.
He called you out. Where's your head at, Dirty?
You're right. Broadway Boat Bar lot right across the street from the Dome. It's the best parking lot here that everybody in St. Louis knows.
This
Right
is a
there.
daytime talk show, people.
It is. And with that being said,
Bananas.
we will see you guys Sunday. Let's go Battlehawks. Let's fill the top, and let's rock out the dome. Anything else, guys?
Caw-caw!
Oh, my God. Seriously? Did you guys really just do that?
I'm
Yeah,
I'm starting a fundraiser for a new Excalibur head.
stop.
GoFundMe page.
Come check us out. Oh, no.
Oh, he finally joins us. We're in overtime. We're leaving. Anything else you want to say?
Oh, there
I
he
got
is.
you.
You got what?
I got you. I got you, Dirty. I heard everything you said.
Hey,
I got you, Dirty.
Listen, Gimpy. Go back
I
and
got
lay
you.
down. Go lay down, Gimpy. Oh, there he goes. With that being said, I wish my man Arlington best of luck with his back and his chiropractor's appointment. We will see you next Tuesday.
Love you, Arlington.
But come hang out with us. The B-Hawk Live Show will be.
Enjoy week 4, everybody.
That's right. I will see you guys this weekend.
Get ready.